Hello, good evening. My name is Horace, Brother Horace. And today we're going to start our series in the study of the Bible. I want to do a complete, in-depth study of all the books in the Bible for everyone to read, to understand. I believe the Bible is the whole Word of God, and that every verse in the Bible is true. All the events that the Bible made reference to, it's all true. I believe in all of that. And I believe, since it is the Word of God, that God is speaking to the entire human race, and He wants us to know His will and His plan. So we're going to start with the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1, I'll read through the first couple of verses, and then we'll look into them a little closer. It says here, in the King James Version, the only version you can trust, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, 'Let there be light.' And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God made the firmament." Verse 6. "And God said, 'Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from waters.' And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day." So here we see in Genesis chapter 1 through 8, it says, "In the beginning, God created." God is the agent. He's the one who started it all. No one else started it all. And God was there from the beginning. And so you see, this is the beginning of time. This is the beginning of space. This is the beginning of matter. God is the one who created everything. The entire universe. Whether people want to believe it or not, the universe has no limit. It's infinite. And God created everything within this vast universe. All the stars, and the planets, and the galaxies, and everything in the heavens, and everything on the earth. It is God who created them all. And in fact, it says in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1, that God called all these things that are visible from the invisible realm. So before there was any matter, God exists. He was. And He was the one who called the matter into existence. He called the invisible things. From the invisible, He called the visible things into the world. He bring them into the world by His mere word. You know, if you studied physics, they will tell you about the Einstein theory of relativity. And that theory of relativity is E equal mc squared. I think we can write it down here, where it says E equal mc squared. Okay? That's the theory of relativity. And in this theory of relativity, it tells you that everything in this vast universe is from energy. It will also tell you in physics that energy can neither be created or destroyed. What is energy? Has anyone seen it? No, it's invisible. It's invisible. And so God called the visible stuff into the invisible realm. And if you want to rewrite the theory, the visible, M is equal E over C squared. Okay? That's the visible realm. God is the one who convert and bring into existence the invisible, the visible from the invisible. See, this is what he does in creation. Interesting. There is no power in the universe, no power, that can convert energy to matter. We can convert matter to energy. What this is saying is, if you take a ball and you throw it at the speed of light squared, it becomes energy. Or you can take a piece of wood and throw it in the fire, and it becomes energy. But how are you going to convert matter, energy into matter? Only God alone can do that. And as the book of Hebrews says, by the word of God, he is the one who called forth matter, the visible thing, from the invisible realm. God is the only one who has that power and authority to do so. No one else can do that. So when they talk about Big Bang Theory and all that stuff, and they try to ignore God, they still run into a lot of problems. Why? Because they need to have an intelligent being, a powerful being, who can convert energy into matter. And only God can do that. And so it says here, he created the heaven and the earth. He created everything. See, the Bible gives you a whole picture of the panoramic view of everything. God is the one who created it all, the heavens and the earth. And so it tells you that it focuses in verse 2 on the earth, that the earth was without form and void. Now, when it says God created the heavens and the earth, it's interesting, in the original Hebrew, there's a word there that's not translated. And it's a word that has the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the Aleph and Tau. In the Greek letter alphabet, you have the Alpha and the Omega. The Aleph and Tau represents the same thing as Alpha and Omega, the one who is the beginning and the end. He is the cause. He's the original cause. He is the one who ends it. And everything between fills it. That's our God. Okay? So there you see from the very beginning, it speaks of him as the Alpha and Omega. As I said, the word is untranslated in other Bibles. And so the earth, which was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. So there are two things you see there. The earth, no form, the earth is void, and then there was darkness. That's what when God created it, that's what it did. He created it starting out that way. There's a reason for God to do that. And it says, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Now you see the Spirit of God is moving. It's hovering. That's the idea in the original. The Spirit of God is hovering, like a bird hovering over its nest, or like an osprey hovering over the water to snatch the fish. Okay? And so you will see this is what's going on here from the very beginning. We will look into what's going on between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. Thank you, my brothers. We will go into the next program, continuing our study in Genesis.